A bunch of 18-year-old lads discover what it is to be gay and living or dying in the shadow of a new mystery disease plaguing homosexuals in the 1980s London. As the AIDS epidemic rages on, it takes a toll on their lives and relationships, putting their friendship to test. Hi, this is Ronak Kotecha and this is the review of It's a Sin, streaming now on Lionsgate Play. You can read my full review of this web series and the rating of the show in the Times of India. The synopsis of writer and creator Russell T Davies, who made Queer as Folk, It's a Sin, reads like a dark and despondent tale of death and misery. But his 5-episode series, directed by Peter Hoare, is far from that. It's a celebration of the way of life that continues to be looked down upon, persecuted and misunderstood at times, even by those who are living it. Imagine that some 40 years back, set in 1981, it's a story that is fabulously ahead of its time. When three young boys, Richie, Roscoe and Colin, begin to live their new life in London as strangers at first, soon their sexuality becomes a common thread that binds them together. And they start living with best friends Jill and Ash, who is also gay. Their lives are marked by rampant partying, living in the moment, and a lot of action within the sheets, if you know what I mean. But soon, their carefree life is hit by a new virus that is killing gay men all over the world. While there is more awareness about HIV and AIDS in America, back home in London, the information at that time was alarmingly low, with some even calling it gay cancer. But this in no way means a full stop on the fun in this show. Instead, Davies' rebellious characters go about living their lives with their individual flair and beliefs. And this is the essence of the show, that is rooted in irreverence and edginess. While on one hand, there is a looming threat of a virus that is a death sentence, literally, on the other hand, there is hope and defiance that is backed by solid friendships that endure testing times. Davies gives each of his central characters enough space to thrive and flourish as they battle their own truths and demons. The show tackles a wide range of relationships and understanding of alternate sexuality back in the 1980s, from deeply religious families that demonize homosexuality to homophobic parents whose sons could never have the courage of coming out of the closet. All the same, there are also parents who stand by and watch their child perish, but continue to acknowledge and support their choices. This variety of characters and situations keeps the audience hooked. It sure kept me very hooked. The show is full of life when the most notorious of them all, Richie, played by Ollie Alexander, marches on to follow his dreams, and Roscoe, played by Omari Douglas, doesn't skip a beat before making the most defiant moves. Then there's Colin, played by debutant Callum, from Wales, who is enduringly subtle and in awe of the brand new colourful world that he is living in. These young boys perform to perfection as they bring their characters alive with ease on the screen. And binding them all together is a selfless young girl, Jill, played brilliantly by Lydia West, who fights misinformation about AIDS and also wages battles for them. Neil Patrick Harris is very pertinent in a cameo as the wise gay man, Henry Coltrane. Debutant Nathaniel Curtis is quite appealing as the dapper, long-haired, desi dude Ash, who exudes earthy sexiness. Add to this the wonderfully recreated 1980s life in London with godlike detailing in set design, costumes, hair and makeup is laudable. Well, it's not often that a story about a marginalized community is so relevant and universal that it engages and entertains its audience with a mass appeal. It's a Sin never gives in to the despair of death, but celebrates life with full gusto. Let me know your thoughts on this show if you have already watched it or if you're planning to do so. It's playing on Lionsgate Play. You can read my full review of the show in the Times of India. You can of course connect with me on Instagram and on Facebook, and on Twitter it's @Reviewron and @Ronak Kotecha. Like, share, subscribe and hit the bell icon if you've already done that. But even if you don't do any of these things, as always, thank you so much for watching this one. Please take care of yourself and those around you. Jai Hind.